Hello, my cabbages, and welcome back to a different mapping video. Another mapping video. If you might notice, my channel name is now Call Me Cab instead of the Cabbage Merchant, because I had life being differente. But you might be wondering, why are we over here in Mexico? Well, I was thinking that we would have a new civilization start over here, because there's actually rivers over here. And, well, I mean, you can't really see the rivers on this map, but basically over here, and you might be like, why don't you start one in Europe and all that? And actually, this is probably more realistic, and also they're closer to each other, because, like, civilization, even though there's, like, no civilizations in this area, there's still people living here. So, like, ideas still slowly kind of spread and, like, kind of related. But let's start with, we don't really have any green nations. So let's start with the green nation over here. So they start with green. And yeah, we got the green nation over here, just starting with their greenliness, and meaning they also need to have a capital, which means we put down 70% opacity, and oh, too big. Don't get a giant capital. Put a capital here on the coastline, because, you know, they're basic. Kind of basic guys. But with this, they do the classic First Nation move of over expansion and exploring. They explore huge spots, which probably take a bit longer, but I'm also just speeding this up for video sake purposes, I guess. Oop. Oh, whoa, not the. Oh, I was on the wrong layer. Oops. Well, yeah, let's just say that. Your lake borders. Okay. They find all of this area. And the green team is like, waha, wahoo! As they say in Wahoo Land. And expands quite a bit, honestly, probably more than. Probably way too much if we look at. Wait, let me fill that in. Boom. Look at that compared to. Okay, it's not as much, but still, that's like pretty big amount. So, because of that, of course, they get, you know, booted out because nobody really likes that. They're like, you expand that too much. I don't know, I'm making them randomly Italian. But so we have a large rebellion in the north here. Also kind of spreading down here and here. So yeah, we got this large rebellions, and the green team kinda pushes forward because they still got most of the soldiers. But after a bit of pushing, eventually they start kind of running out as many soldiers. And so basically we got the political divide of like, we got non-expansionists and expansionists, basically. So Finn, they already got some pretty big nations, and the green team keeps on trying. They are slowly winning, but eventually it runs into a stalemate when I make these borders look a bit better. Sure. Runs into a stalemate, meaning that they get to make their, new Lime team gets to make their capital. Woohoo! 70%, boom. Over here. So, yeah. Yeah, we got these two teams now, so. But of course, you know, these guys don't know about them, and they also don't have as much history. Yeah, also, if you weren't here for the last episode, you wouldn't know about the Halloween raids, that I was talking about in a witch's voice. Yes, that was me. I didn't hire a witch to, yeah, no, CapCut actually has some pretty good free built-in voice changers, so that's pretty nice. And also I made kind of religion here. This religion kind of believes in the whole Halloween spirits, and the rest is kind of like, what you talking about? But yeah, no, this area, so yeah, religion map, not that much different because that was just a mini-sode. So yeah, the orange team basically, yeah, they have their 7'9" or 7'8" ruler Jack. And yes, if you're wondering if I got inspiration from Jack Skellington, Yes, I did. I got Jack Skellington. Nope. King Jack. I'm guessing, and I'm also making it live for a long while, probably, for no reason, but yeah, there's probably, with how big they're getting, there's, trust me, eventually going to be conflict. Because there's really just 3 parties right now. There's the kind of right-leaning party that wants to sacrifice and expand, and then there's a far-right party which really wants to sacrifice and expand. So yeah, and then there's the slight left party that thinks that we should be sacrificing less humans and be sacrificing more animals. Political situation not too good. Honestly, a lot of these other nations are more united. But yeah, no, the political situation there is not good. So yeah, that's going on. We have the orange team decides to expand a bit and explore, and they actually over here they find a tribe. This tribe, I'm not gonna have much enough. I could, but nah. So they, instead of going to war, because they haven't been, I mean, they got the Halloween raids, but those only happen like once every year, and of course it's not like going the same time scale. It's probably been at least like, you know, it's been a while since, you know, they do it every so often. But yeah, so they do a kind of huge expansion over here to take over this tribal area, so they can meet their sacrificial quota, basically. Their sacrificial quota. So yeah, this country is looking very long in Chile 2.0. Because they want to hug the coast and also get the tribes. Ooh, I'm surprised how they have not collapsed yet. Ooh, that's called foreshadowing. Yeah. So we get a little bit. But what? We get more expansion. This part's, you know, tame. The blue team decides to explore more over here. Each expansion, so they can find out more of this land and also go down this river. Some of these far out areas, as you can see by the religion map, they believe more in polytheism rather than animism, so they're kind of starting to get a bit disillusioned with, not really disillusioned, but disagreements, because like Blue Nation also has kind of a big split between the animists and the polytheists, and it's basically like the animists take control in the capital, but like doesn't mean that the polytheists are not there. But right now they're not like super targeted or anything. It's not like they're being prosecuted, so they hang on. Going down the Amazon River, going down the liver. But yeah, so stretching out pretty thin. Boom, boom, and boom, boom, and then over here. And also another thing about the orange team, surprisingly, even though they're super like advanced and love sacrifices, there's a bunch of blue religion over here, and they're not actually doing genocide against them, but they are slowly like re-inhabiting. Oh, that doesn't matter. Slowly re-inhabiting the area because they want, you know, less than minority. You know, they don't want to be the minority there, but they're like slowly inhabiting the area. But surprisingly, they're not doing evil things, at least yet. Although the far right group does want to do more evil things, so yeah. But they have a slow expansion of religion there, so, but not in a bad way, surprisingly. Surprisingly, he says. Yeah, they get more expansion out here. Bada boom, bada bing. The expansion parts are always not as interesting. I might try actually having timestamps for this video. Well, you'll see if I have, so maybe skip to the timestamps in the video. If I was not too lazy. Boom, boom, boom. Blue team expansion looking pretty girthy and looking pretty juicy to the orange team right now, if you know what I mean. Juicy. That sounds weird. Calling them juicy. Lavender team, getting a bit expansionist here. Yeah, and then a bit of the purple team kind of spraying out and over. And honestly, the Dark Red team's been pretty dormant. The Dark Red team decides to do some pretty good expansion. And for like a war-mongering team, they have not been in many wars. But honestly, they've been kind of, let's just say, left leadership has been, upsetting leadership's been taking over, honestly, kind of recently. But, let's say around about now, King Jack dies, and because he's so old, his grandson, instead of just his son, or maybe great-grandson, yeah, great-grandson, takes over, and his great-grandson's a bit more radical, don't we say, and he wants more sacrifices. So he wages war on the blue team, and he gets quite a bit of land as he expands slowly, because they weren't really expecting to go to war. They knew they were kind of like partially warmongering, but they like really went headstrong, and then even starting to attack parts of the water nation, and like and nobody was really expecting this. Like the Dark Red team's kind of allied with them, but they weren't expecting this either, because this new leader kind of just first Russia, without even thinking about it. But they start capturing because they have the advantage of the surprise right now. But when the blue team's like, whoa, and they try to start fighting back, but they kind of realize the orange team, because they kind of used to war, they have better war strategies, and the blue team is kind of backwards. Basically like France during World War I or II, during both World Wars actually. France was kind of cooked. They basically take over all this. I'm gonna say they take over all these island nations of stuff, but I'm not gonna draw that in. Let's just say there's somehow a stronghold there. I don't know, but I'm not gonna draw that in. But yeah, though they blitzkrieg through most of this, and surprisingly, because they thought it'd be stronger, and the red team was like, whoa, because they were not allied. They're actually kind of against each other, all this island, but like they're kind of like the orange team is gaining too much power, and they're kind of more of want to keep the balance now. So they start trying to let's just say the blue team, the indigo team, because there's superior navalry, superior navy, they start making landings near their capital. So the orange team is forced to deal with that, which has to divert some troops away from the other front. Divert some troops away from the other front. I still find it weird this just one. Probably actually be all of this, but let's just say they let's just say they absorb this for now. Completely. So allowing the blue team troops, and maybe even some of the purple team troops, because the purple team and the blue team have been on pretty good terms recently, because they fought against the lavender team. So the purple team and the blue team combined effort starts fighting back against the orange team, because the indigo team is kind of keeping them distracted. So yeah, they kind of create this weak alliance between the indigo team and so let's just say they have an alliance. Let's create a new alliance layer. Boom. What shapes shall we do now? I'll put this 70% opacity. Well, at first, because it's easy, we do the circles. So we do. So we got circle country, circle country, circle country. Pretty big circles. The dark red team was kind of like in this, but now they're kind of like slightly like, oh, we kind of went to war without really telling us. So they're not really allied right now. They're like half allied, but also they don't want to get into this war because they don't want to deal with war right now. Even though they're kind of the war-mongering country. So that's surprising. Ooh, that's not nice. And then make like a kinda weird shape. Yeah, let's just say the lavender countries. This kind of weird shape. I don't like that one, but we're gonna have to deal with that. Lavender country decides to join in on the war because they kind of don't like the blue team that much, so opening a new front. I don't like that there. Opening a new front over here, cutting off a bit of their army here, capturing it. Not really quite encircling it, but they kind of been distracted with this front. So now it's a 3-front war and the whole thing, grand scheme of things. So yeah, not looking greatest. And then they also started attacking the purple team because they want to make a 4-front war, and the lavender teams that decides that they want to false Sparta. So yeah, they're doing surprisingly well right now, just like Germany in the first half of World War I. That foreshadowing? Couldn't be. What? But no, they're doing pretty well right now. They got the whole, checkups here. Yeah, doing pretty well right now. And then the orange team trying to fight against, they kind of cut this area off, but it actually doesn't do much because they still have the naval area that they control. So, yeah, doesn't really do much. Boom, boom. So they still have this kind of port here. And, this is really where they start declining. Blue team, with the help of the purple team, really starts managing to take back a lot of their land. And it's probably happened a bit slower. Not all that. And then eventually they realize, oh, they're kind of cooked. So they eventually, even though they're the hyper-nationalist government, they eventually realize, okay, we should succeed and not really, we should stop this. So they stop that, and, well, now we gotta do the peace borders, which is gonna be more complex than usual. This is basically what the new borders look like. So you notice the creation of 2 new states. We got this state, kind of representing this area, and it's a buffer state. It's the same as the Halloween Town, but the Halloween Town isn't really kind of over there, and also probably slowly loses popularity. This happened over a longer time, but because they're not doing the Halloween raids anymore, they're kind of like, this can't be true, so they kind of just, oh, I'm on the wrong layer. This can't be true. So it slowly loses popularity. But, yeah, so then we got this kind of buffer state, not allowed to rejoin, kind of just there for buffer purposes. The Indigo team kind of expanding over here. Then we also got, then we got yellow buffer state over here, which I kind of didn't go over this, but basically there's most of the liberal area is kind of up here. It's more liberal because it's like a lot of, so they kind of, I don't know, if anything, this would be the more expansionist area. Yeah, no, this is probably the more expansionist area because it's most of the military. Government, let's just say government in exile. I realized with the whole peace treaty, I did not make capitals. So, yeah, the yellow team's kind of government, nah. I think it's just a separation. I don't want to do government in exile. Because you'll see why. Well, actually, next episode, because I don't think I'll have enough time for doing all this in one episode. But, yeah, so basically, we got these 2 new buffer states, and also heavy sanctions on the orange team. So, yeah, basically, think of Germany after World War I. Whoa, did I say foreshadowing? Crazy. Do you think that nationalist rebellion and nationalist movements, hyper-nationalist actually, movements will start in the capital region and start spreading outwards of the orange team? Nah. Foreshadowing. But yeah, no. Also, I forgot to put reparations against the Lavender team because I kind of joined them. Damn, I need to stay in my game more. Lavender team. Let's just say blue team is fat. The blue team's looking pretty fat right now. That sounds very insulting, but they do look pretty fat right now. Why am I giving that to the red team? Who knows? There we go. Purple team. Yeah, red team and dark red team didn't fight in the war, so they don't get anything. But let's go. Oh, wait, what? Since when does the Lavender team not have a capital? Did I remove their capital because they took it? Or no. They just never had a capital, I guess. Weird. Well, honestly, they probably would have had a capital like here or something, but now that they're kind of forced to get out of that, probably have a capital there. But also, going over here, let's go to our Mexico check. Things going pretty well right here. Probably not as much of conflict because they weren't in a war. And dark green team, not learning their lesson, decides to launch big expedition going southeastwards. So they keep on expanding over here. But I'm doing southeastward so they somehow eventually meet up with the other nation, and not just because it's totally just a random direction. And it's still a while though because you got that. But I've been trying to like at least I want to expand the area a lot because I know a lot of other YouTubers, cough, Ender M, says that I make my country way too small. Also, I mean, it's also helped that this map is not as high res because actually it's kind of better to have a lower res map, so I make my countries bigger for my country. So yeah, we got the big countries, bigger countries. So yeah, we have Mexico and South America. So yeah, that's probably all, and goodbye, my cabbages.